Here we go. Vision Realty Group, Austin, Texas. All right, I got an update for you guys because, man, as we tie up 2021, what a year in regards to real estate. I don't think we've seen anything like it anywhere. And I was doing real estate in the early 2000s in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that was an absolutely crazy market. Now my team services here out of Austin, Texas, and this was just bananas. The first 9 months of the year was just absolutely crazy. We peaked in June, but hey, today's update is about how things are changing in Texas, and you better be careful. Whether you're a seller or you're a buyer, the market conditions have absolutely changed. So let's jump right in. Okay, so we peaked in June. We know this because now the last 3 months we've experienced depreciation, around 13% depreciation in the last 90 days, the last 3 months. And so that's a little weird because while the median price in the greater Austin area, Travis and Williamson County, has come down 13%, around 13% with those two counties combined, the inventory is still remained low and still a seller's market. All right, so let's break this down because I think that while the greater Austin area median price point has fallen 13%, by the way, in 90 days. Like, that's incredible. For most markets, that would be a state of emergency, and yet nobody's talking about it because the first 6 months of the year were, about 40 to 45% appreciation overall, depending on the area that you were in, right? Did you just hear me? 40 to 45% appreciation in less than a year. So the fact that we're bouncing back and the median price has fallen that drastically in the last 90 days, 12, 13% in 90 days. All right, so what's going on? All right, so sellers are getting a little greedy and they're seeing just how much appreciation has happened. And you got weak real estate agents who are not willing to stand up to some of these sellers and tell them, hey, that's just not gonna work. And to price the property at a price point that'll still cause you to get multiple offers, because that actually will still happen. I'm gonna talk about that at the end of the video here. And then also you have buyers who are having a little bit of reluctancy, a little bit of buyer fatigue with all these multiple offers that happen January through June. And so you got sellers being a little greedy, buyers being a little reluctant, and then there's a gap, and then what's happening is the median price point's falling. People are coming down. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Is the market gonna crash here in Austin, Texas? All right, let's look at the numbers. Okay, so for Travis County, we peaked in June at $560,000. Currently, as of September, the median price point is $510,000. So we went from 560 in June to 510 in September. That's a tremendous drop. Again, not in the news anywhere, right? You're not seeing this anywhere that we've dropped 9%. Since then. Okay, that's a $17,000, that's a $50,000 drop. A $50,000 drop in the last just 3 months, a $50,000 drop. Now the closed sales were down 2,100 to about 1,800, so 300 less sales from June to September. The average days on market has began to rise from 13 days to 17 days, which, look, 17 days is still a very low amount of days on market, but we're starting to see the closed sales are dropping. The average days on market is rising. This is 3 months in a row. So 3 months in a row, look, that's a trend. Okay, and for active listings, back in June, we had 1,290. In September, almost 2,000. So the number of active listings has not doubled, but getting close to it. The active listings are continuing to rise. Pending sales in June this is Travis County. This is what encompasses the main area of the city of Austin. Pending sales back in June in Travis County were up at 2,100. Pending sales in September were 1,600. So the number of homes that went into contract, a buyer and seller agreed on making a sale, has fallen almost 500 homes. Okay, so those dynamics are similarly mirrored in Williamson County, the northern county in the greater Austin area that encompasses Cedar Park and Leander and Round Rock and Georgetown. And so they haven't experienced as dramatic, but in June, Williamson County peaked at 450,000. In September, we're at 435,000. So look, that's a $15,000 drop. Okay, not the $50,000 drop Travis County and City of Austin have experienced. Craziness, okay? But a $15,000 drop, still pretty significant in regards to how much depreciation has occurred in Austin in the last 90 days. Again, amazing that mainstream media is not talking about this. There's not articles around this. It's just a little bit of conversation, but not the firestorm you might see in a normal market. Imagine if we hadn't experienced $40,000 in appreciation from January to June, and all of a sudden the market was in just 90 days worth $50,000 less. It'd be a big deal. Okay, so Williamson County, again, Cedar Park, Leander, Round Rock, Georgetown area, okay, in the northern greater Austin area, experienced in September 1,269 closed sales. That's down from 1,539 closed sales in June. Okay, so the number of closings, again, also in Williamson County, coming down. Average days on markets ballooning up also here, 16 days average days on market in September, and this is up from 10 days, just 10 days average days on market for Williamson County. That's amazing. And then for active listings in Williamson County, we're at 981. In June, we were just at 605. So the number of active listings for sale, a third, really a little bit more than a third up in September compared to June. And then finally, pending sales down at 1,300 from pending sales about 1,600 in June. Okay, so the active listings are rising. The pending sales are going down. The closed sales are going down. Average days on market's going up. Median sales price is coming down. Okay, what's really going on here? The market's in just a really weird place that I really have actually never seen before in almost 20 years in real estate, servicing clients and hundreds of homes I've sold over 2 different states. This dynamic is just incredible, where we've experienced significant depreciation in 90 days, and yet nobody's worried about it because homes are still selling in 30 days. And because there's still multiple offers happening for the right homes, priced right, in the right areas and neighborhoods, the more desirable areas and neighborhoods. And so people are not freaking out yet. Okay, well, so let's see how much longer this depreciation occurs. I could imagine that into the holiday months, October, November, December, and then the winter months, the dead months really is what realtors call them, January and February. People are experiencing hangover from the holiday months in January, and for February, we're just beginning to come out. People are doing their taxes, and there's still a lot less activities until we move into March, the beginning of the spring months, where things will begin to pick up again. So how much more depreciation will occur? I think some. Okay, I think into the first quarter we could experience continued depreciation. So if you're thinking about selling your home, look, you better get on it. Okay, if you plan on holding for more than a year, two or 3 years, and you're considering, then fine, just hold it and don't worry about it. Because I think overall, barring any major economic meltdown nationally, or the crash of the dollar, or we go to war, I really don't foresee a something to worry about here in Austin. In fact, because real estate's local, a lot of the clients that I coach and associations that I have in different cities, they're experiencing much different things. In Las Vegas, Nevada, things are actually heating up a little bit right now versus what's happening here in Austin, Texas. So real estate's local. This is for what's happening here in Austin, Texas. And I think that if you're considering a sale of maybe waiting until the spring, look, things could be the same at best in my opinion, but they're probably going to be worse in regards to the average price point coming even further down. So you can actually lose money thinking that you're waiting for the spring market where there's going to be more buyers. Well, look, that may traditionally be what happens, and based off of what we're experiencing is that the median price point could actually be even further down than where it is right now, and you actually be able to make less money than you could if you sold your property in October, November, December, maybe even January. Okay, all right, so look, if you're a seller, you got to pay attention here, because you could literally lose thousands, tens of thousands of dollars thinking that you might just wait until after the holidays. If you're a buyer, look, there's plenty of opportunity here because the market's softening, and instead of competing against 10 or 20 offers for the right house, you may be only competing against 3 to 5 offers. Okay, so let me give you a success story here. Is that look, Vision Realty Group here in Austin, Texas, because of our ability to understand the numbers, because of our experience and knowledge, we're able to win over multiple offers in a situation just within the last 60 days, where we were the 3rd highest offer. We were $50,000 below the highest offer, and we won. Okay, and how do we do that? Well, there's plenty of ways to be able to put terms into a contract that allow you to win over multiple offers. You see, it's just not always about the price. Understanding what the seller wants, understanding the seller's circumstances, developing a relationship with the listing agent to really put our best foot forward and use specific and strategic negotiations to be able to win in multiple offers and still not be the highest offer. Now, that I can't guarantee that. That's not going to happen every time. But it just happened with the Vision Realty Group in the last 60 days. We had another client that they were a buy-sell scenario. So they had to sell their home and they wanted to buy another one. That's a tricky situation in unto itself. So look, you're going to need a professional who's going to be able to understand how to navigate that without being homeless, without having to pay 2 mortgages for an overextended period of time. Because we were able to do both of those things, make sure that that this was going to be seamless, efficient, and effective. And look, he sold his house for $130,000 over asking price. Now look, I understand January through June that was happening, that was prevalent, and that was happening quite a bit. Less so right now, okay? Not many people getting that much over asking price. It is happening under the right circumstances, with the right strategy, with the right realtor, and understanding the numbers. He was able to get $130,000 over asking price, far and above. Now look, that strategy, we knew that we'd get a lot of activity. We knew that people would come in, but the seller, appreciating and respecting professional consultation, was able to buy into our strategy and know that we even went much further above and beyond where he thought he'd be with this strategy, because of his trust in our ability to really make sure that we created a lot of demand when that property hit the market. So look, he sold his property $130,000 over asking price, and he bought a home in a more desirable neighborhood for himself, in a more desirable property, and he only paid $30,000 over asking. Now, he was also in multiple offer situation, but he only paid $30,000 over asking. Now, look, he did have to overbid that property, but instead of having to pay $130,000 over asking, which somebody did for his house, which in his mind, in his eyes, that was less desirable than what he wanted and what was desirable for him, and he only had to pay $30,000 over asking price for a better neighborhood and a better home in his eyes, right? So you can win on both sides. We had another buyer, and this is the last one I'll finish up, guys, is a buyer just recently who we secured a home $82,000 under the last sale of the lowest price. Now, well, what was the deal? Well, yes, the market values are coming down, but we established a relationship with the listing agent to find out what was going on. We capitalized on information and data to understand how to put a good offer together and how to negotiate at a high level to get that property $82,000 under the last sale price, the last lowest sale price in the area. Now look, this wasn't a fixer-upper. This wasn't a knockdown. This was a nice property in a nice area, and it was in pretty good condition. It needed a little bit of upgrading, a little bit of updating, but nothing significant. It didn't need the kitchen torn out. It didn't need all the bathrooms completely torn out. Might have needed a little new flooring, but there was new carpet down. And this was a pretty clean property overall. So for us to get it $82,000 over under the last lowest sale in this market was an awesome deal for our buyers who we just secured just 2 weeks ago. Okay, so moral of the story, pay attention. You got to understand what's going on with the market and being in relationship with the right people to have the right conversations to get you the best deal is more significant than ever in a market like this one where it's just a little weird. Some weird stuff going on. And I think the next few months are going to be a little weird too as far as what's happening. So pay attention. Reach out to the Vision Realty Group. Email, text, send smoke signals to our group here to find out what you need to know. And we'll bring a conversation. We'll sit down and we can share the information, the data you need, the inside market information, and talk about it so that you can figure out what's best for you and the time that is best for you. Hey, Vision Realty Group, your vision, our mission. Stay tuned.